Hi, Dominic here from St. Mary's Home. We're continuing with our garden series. Today I had the idea of, since gardening is very popular at this time of year and also this year, super popular, people wanting to stay at home and be busy. So would like to introduce you to, if you're interested to garden, what to look for and how to go about to doing it. We're going to start. First of all, you have to have a spot to do a garden. In this area here, I happen to have an old raised bed that hasn't been used in a long time, so I'm going to use that. If you also have something like that, or a flower bed that has room for gardening, you can use that. If you have none of this, you can also plant container. Find your spot, and then you have to make sure that this spot has enough light. Here it's full sun. You have to have at least 6 hours of sun during the day to have enough to grow vegetable, because this is basically what's going to be vegetables and herbs. Also, you have to have access to water. You're not going to want to have a garden way far and that you have to carry your water a long distance. You want to have you have to look at the soil quality. If you're going to do containers, you can buy garden or potting mix. If you're doing in the bed that's already existed, you might need to add some soil, you might need to add some compost. You also have to look at what's in the situation. Like right now I have a lot of junk in the garden, so a big part of the setting up is going to be cleaning things up. The other thing you have to figure out is, what do you want to grow? In here it's not very big, and we mostly want to have some things that the cook can use. So we're going to have herbs, a few tomatoes, because everybody loves tomato, I think, and a few other than maybe lettuce and beans. We'll see how much space we have once we start planting the seeding part and transplanting part. Then you also have to think about gardening. This side won't take a whole lot of time, but if you have anything bigger, you have to figure out, do I have enough time to do this? And how do I get the kids involved in there? Like, do I get them involved from start, like from cleaning up, from planting, from sowing? Also, make it sure that you have it close to where you can see it regularly, because if you don't see your garden, you're going to forget about it. You're not going to look after it, and then the whole project's not going to be as fulfilling as you may want, and you're not going to learn as much. And finally, the thing you really have to look for is pet and pest. If you have a cat, they might use your garden as the litter, and you don't want that. And if there's a lot of animals like groundhogs, rabbits, squirrels, they might eat or dig up your garden. Cleaning up, that took a little bit. I was surprised by how much soil we took out, because clumps of grass that were there were just holding up the other garden soil that had been put there before. It was very dry. And also, to my surprise, I thought the tree that was growing was only behind, but we have one smack in the middle. We have to work around this tree, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep on cutting off the stems, the branches as they come up. So we decided what we wanted with some herbs here, some tomato plants here. Came into a special little fiber material. So you have to take the plastic off, rip the bottom so that there's room for the roots to grow. And I'm just gonna put a hole as big as the root bulb that I have here, and I'm gonna plant so that dirt is flush with the plant here. And just tighten it up there. So I'm gonna water them. They were a little bit dry in the soil, so I'm just gonna water around the plant. So the tomato plants are gonna be a bit different. We're gonna have a deeper hole because the plant can form roots all on their stems, so they don't need to be flush with the ground like we did for the others. I dig my hole, it's a little bit dry. I'm gonna add some Epsom salt. You see how much I have? Maybe a teaspoon of it. That's going to help the nutrition in the soil be released and be food for the plant. I'm also going to add, this is different, this is a manure, composted manure that came from the store, and I'm just going to add that also in my hole and around the stem also. I'm going to unpot this. This is good. There's even the earthworm there. Woo! So I'm putting the plant on an angle and I'm adding compost around it. Probably even more than that. Yeah, straighten up. So it has an angle right now, but with time it's gonna straighten up as it gives this create some roots. Just gonna water this too. Don't necessarily want to water the foliage right now. Just a good soaking because it was pretty dry in there. And I'm also gonna top. I have still some soil here, the composted stuff. I'm just gonna put that on top. For now, just gonna soak in. Maybe later I'll add some when it's not too muddy. So we transplanted at the front. Now we're gonna sow a few things at the back. I'm gonna sow a few plants of beans from seed, and then we're gonna leave a little space open for lettuce that we're gonna transplant later on. So I'm just making a row with the end of my hoe, and I'm gonna plant some seeds in there. Seeds that I planted, there's more than we will actually need, and once they pop up, we're gonna clear some and get the right spacing. We're gonna leave a space here for lettuce to be planted or transplanted later on. This is our garden and the beginning of it. Every week we're gonna come back and take a look what's going on, what we need to fix, what we need to add, and hopefully you've enjoyed it, and just take a look.